Hi, welcome to my video on the K&F Concept. Now, K&F normally make tripods, anything from your small travel tripod all the way up to big, large, bulky tripods for those big video cameras. They normally make items like that in the photography world. But they have branched out and started to make selfie sticks, especially 3-in-1s. So this one is the biggest one that they do, which is the A200 selfie stick. And they make, this comes out extends out to 1.7 meters in length. They do a handheld one, which extends out to 0.8 meters. Now, when that one comes through, I will do a review on that. But for the time being, I'm going to do the review on their biggest one. Now, this, when you purchase this, now I purchased this on Amazon UK for £51.99. And when you do get it, it comes in a box like this with the selfie stick on the front there while it's extended and closed. And on the side here, and I have to read this, folks, it says suitable for 4.7 to 15.6 inch mobile phones and tablets. So I'll come into that later on, what this specific selfie stick could do, even though you see it on the front. And it's a desktop photo holder, phone holder. It has a double clip effect on there, and it has a 360 rotation. And on the other side of the box, it just shows you how the configurations that you can place this selfie stick in to hold your phones or tablets. And on the back here, just simple line diagram showing you how you can set up the selfie stick, but I'll come to that later on. With the unique thing with the A200 is, as you can see, you already see, it's capable of holding not just one mobile phone, but 2 mobile phones. And if you don't want to have the phones held in there, you can capable of holding a tablet. Now, this is really suitable for people who do product reviews, or who want to do vlogs, or have YouTube channels, and they just need an all-in-one unit that can hold a mobile phone or 2 mobile phones in there. So that's what this is really for. It's for a content creator than anything else. In the box, you get a micro USB cord, and that is to charge the remote. So yes, you do get a remote. So you get a cord, get a little kind of just one single sheet, and which is basically, it's just saying that thank you for buying the product from K&F. So you just get that in there. Now it's English on the front and Chinese on the back, and you get a remote. Now this remote is 1.5 inches long, and it is made out of plastic. So you get this remote in there. Come to the selfie stick itself. And the selfie stick is mainly of an aluminium and plastic construction, and it is quite weighty. And I have to say, this is not a pocketable selfie stick. It may look at a reasonable size on the video, but it's not a pocketable selfie stick, more aiming towards placing in your bag or rucksack type selfie stick if you need to move about with this thing. Actual weight of the selfie stick is 595 grams it weighs, so it is quite a bit on the heavy side with this particular selfie stick. But as I said, this is the biggest model that K&F does. Start off with the top of the selfie stick and work down to the bottom. Now at the top, as I said to you before, it has this very unique, and I'll try and get that in there, folks. It has this very unique kind of clamping system at the top, which is a double clamping system, which can also be made into a single clamping system if you are using a tablet. Now the double clamping system, simply each clamp folds out like so, and we have rubber on either side of the clamp, so it's basically like a C-shape clamp, which is mounted on this It's hard to get it in there, folks, so I try and get it in there. It's mounted on this plate which sits on this arm here. Now the arm itself that this mount is on is made out of plastic, and also the clamps, the double clamp itself is also made out of plastic. Each of these clamps do rotate round in a 360-degree spin, so they do actually rotate round. And also the main part of the clamp, or what these two clamps sit on, the main arm, that also rotates around 360 degrees. And that is so that if you want to place your obviously phone or two phones in either direction, you can do so. You can have it in either portrait or even landscape on both phones if you wish, or you can have one simply at portrait and one at landscape on there. Another thing with these two clamps on this arm here is that when you're going to put a tablet on there, you only need to take out the first, it's hard to get this, folks, so I try and do it. You only need to take out the first clamp here, rotate that round and take out the second clamp here. Now both of these clamps are spring loaded, and there is a bit of a squeakiness to the springs, but we can rotate the main arm like so. And also these clamps do pull out. Now they pull out 1.5 inches away from each other when pulling out, so you can accommodate your large tablets on there. Now it does have a maximum payload or weight load that it can take of 500 grams. This is how the clamp looks, as I stated before, with two mobile phones on there. And as I did say to you, that you can have a particular phone in a certain direction. You can have one at portrait and one at landscape if you wish. Now to get that, you can have them both at landscape if you wish, by simply rotating this main arm here on the back. By simply rotating that main arm, you can have two phones in landscape if you want, or one phone in landscape and the other one in a portrait. But that's how it looks with two phones on there. Seen when I had the two phones on there, both of those phones had cases on there, and especially the phone at the top, when I rotated it, that was my son's phone, and he's got a heavy duty case on there, so it's capable of taking cases with phones with very thick cases on there. It can take up to your small mini phones all the way up to your notes. They can be placed on these clamps, no problem. As I stated before, you can place an iPad on there or a tablet on there, but the only thing you can't do, now this is an iPad mini, the only thing you can't place on there, if your iPad is in a case, it will fit on there, but it will not hold it as strongly as holding a mobile phone with a case, because when you place a case on any tablet, it makes the tablet even more thicker because of the actual clamp on there. It won't take the case. So if you're going to place an iPad on there of any description, whether it's an iPad mini or a Pro like this on there, make sure that you remove the case. And when placing an iPad on there, make sure that you place things like the iPad Pro and Air and the standard iPads. Make sure that it's placed between the two clamps, so the teeth are out. So it's the two furthest teeth are out, or clamps are out, and you place it on there that way. So show you folks, that way has to be placed on. It will not fit it that way. So when it's large like these, it will not fit it that way. So with large tablets, place them on how I showed you. Now with smaller tablets, like the Mini, you can simply place it either in that direction if you wish, or in that direction it will hold it. So bear that in mind. With any tablets or iPads, please remove the case. Now, going after that long explanation and description about the unique clamping system, this double clamping system at the top, we come down to the arm, which I stated already is made out of plastic, and it has this nice thumb screw here on there, which you can see on there, which you can make an adjustment, and that just gives you a 180-degree adjustment, so you can either fold the, when carrying, fold the actual clamping system back into itself, or bring it forward. Just under the clamping system, and it's a bit fiddly to get there, folks, but it was a bit fiddly, folks, because you had to release this thumb screw here, untighten it. To bring this out, we have a 1/4-inch screw thread here. And now that tucks in behind or just underneath the arm itself that holds your phone. So we have a 1/4-inch screw system here, which you can place your mirrorless camera on there, your point and shoot camera on there, or your action camera on there. So we have that there. Now, as for DSLR cameras, I personally think do not put it on there. If it's over 500 grams, don't bother, especially with the lens that you place on this. As we come down, we have this handle here, and this handle is for when you want to do your pan shots. So if you've got your phone attached on there, or as I stated before with the 1/4-inch screw thread, a camera on there, you can able to do pan motion with this arm. Now the arm is made out of metal with this sleek rubber grip on the end, and I have to say, and it's a bit of a letdown from K&F, that this rubber, when it gets a bit, I don't know, warmed up in your hands, tends to slide down and come off. It needs a bit of gluing. So if you're gonna have this on there and you don't mind having the rubber, you want the rubber on there, I suggest put a dab of super glue on there just to keep this. Now, housed within the handle of the panning arm, we have, and I'll step on that side, folks, we have a remote control here. Now the remote is easy to pair, and I'll come to that later in the video. Very easy to pair this remote to it. And as I stated before, the remote has a built-in battery. It doesn't really say what milliamp the battery is. It does have a timer function on the battery, so if you switch the battery on and leave it for just over 5 minutes, it will shut down. So there's a timer on there if you're not using it, and it does get charged with this micro USB to charge it. Now to charge it, I found that 1 hour of charge is enough. The light goes out. When you charge it, there's a red light that comes on, and then when it's fully charged, that red light comes off. So about an hour will charge the remote in there. Now the panning arm is connected to this mount here, which is made out of plastic. And then we come to the stem itself. As I stated to you before, the entire length of this selfie stick, K&F Concept, and I'm trying to get it all into the camera, folks, into the frame. Now the entire length, they claim, is 1.7 meters long. The stem itself is made of aluminium, and I have to say, it is coated in this nice matte black finish to it, and it does feel quality when pulling this stem out. It relies on simply friction to hold each section in, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sections plus the handle itself, the last section, so it's 8 sections it has altogether. The last section is the handle, doubles up as a handle, and also the legs, but I'll come to that later on. And it does feel kind of stiff. Now, it does feel quite sturdy, and when pulling these sections out they do feel stiff, and I try and get this down folks, because they are quite stiff. Whether they remain stiff as long as you have it and keep using it, that's another thing for long-term use. But I do like what K&F has done. They've put a seam down the back and a seam down the front of the selfie stick, and each of the sections are done in a black matte plastic collar for each sections, and the collars are really thin. Now I have to say they're one of the thinnest plastic collars. You could just about see them. They're probably about no more than about 2 millimeters thick of each these collars are. So they really have gone and made the effort of blending the whole entire selfie stick as one collar. We come to the bottom section, and the bottom section of the A200, this feels like metal. So this is a metal handle. Now folks, it is very smooth, really smooth, like a soap, like a bar of soap. They should have made this grippy than anything else, but it is smooth, and it is made out of aluminium. And then we have the legs. Now the legs are this particular, I would say, bar type legs, which are also made of aluminium, with each section on the bottom with a bit of rubber. Now I'd say it's probably about 5 millimeters in diameter of each of these. Is it diameter? Well, yes, diameter, not circumference. About 5 millimeters or less than 5 millimeters in diameter of each of these legs, and you get 3 of them, and they tend to come down, God folks, they tend to come down like so, and they have a unique locking system here at the bottom, which is a simple switch, and you switch that over, and you probably would have heard that, the microphone probably would have picked up that, and it will lock these legs into place. I can tell you now, this has one of the most widest stance on there, and it does sit low to the ground. Now I will try my best folks to try and put some B-roll in to show all of this, but at the current moment while filming this, England is going through what I'd say is a storm alley, and every time I try to go out to film, the wind out there is going between, what the weathermen say, between 30 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour. And I don't want this to keep blowing over with my items on there, because it's that strong out there. Yes, the wind will blow your, at 80 mile an hour gusts, yes, it will blow this over, even with its low stance. So I'll try my best to do B-rolls for this. Very bottom of the selfie stick here, we just have a cap which is made out of plastic. Now, I am telling you this, folks, that this is not really a handheld selfie stick. It's not really meant to be handheld. As I stated to you before, this is really meant to be either tabletop or tabletop on a tabletop or on the floor with this. This is how it looks when it's fully extended. And forgive me, folks, because I'm at the other side. I put the camera at the other side of the lounge and took the zoom right back, and I still can't get the feet in there. And I've put on a phone on there to show you, a phone in its case, and just the case because my son's gone out and I couldn't borrow his phone, and my wife is at work so I can't borrow her phone, so I placed the case in there to show you that it can take 2 phones and the camera on top on there, and it's still all right. Now remember what I said to you earlier on, that the maximum payload is 500 grams. Now if I had another phone on there, I think it will just come over that with the 2 phones and this small point and shoot camera on there. But that's how this setup would look, and when you fully extend it. I will show you the bottom part, and as I said, please forgive me, but I'll try my best to do some B-roll if I can. But as I said before, England experiencing storm after storm after storm this week, and to get B-roll out is virtually impossible. Standing next to it on this wooden floor, and I have to say, fully extended, there's no wobble to it. It's not wobbling whatsoever, and I'm looking at it and there's not really a wobble as such to say in your head, oh gosh, this could tip over. As I said, it does have a wide stance, but I'll show you that on the next shot. I'll show you that down there. This is the bottom portion of the A200 from K&F Concept. Now, as I said before, I couldn't get the whole length in there. Even having the camera right across my lounge, it just wouldn't fit in the same frame. So this is the bottom portion. As you can see, this is with the legs spread out. It does have these kind of rod type legs, as I said, which are made out of metal or stroke aluminium, that these legs are made out of. And it does have that switch system here to lock the legs into place, which I showed you earlier on. Each legs have these tips of rubber on there, not particularly grippy, but they're all right and they would do for this. It does sit quite low to the ground. I can slide my hand under there and just about have half a centimeter before my hand touches the very bottom of the selfie stick. And I have to say, even though indoors on this wooden floorboard, and as you can see the panels run directly underneath it, even tapping this, it's still quite sturdy with the items that I showed you earlier on top. It's still quite sturdy. Now, I know I'm going to get asked this, would this be suitable outside? Yes, it is suitable outside. No, if it's a storm like what we've got now, and the winds are blowing between 30 to 80 miles an hour in gusts, forget it. It's not suitable for that. In breezes, if you're going to have this outside, I would take it, depending if you got your phone on there, I would take it up to the 5th section up there. I wouldn't fully extend it, take it up to the 5th section on a breeze, and you should be all right because it's quite sturdy. And as I said, the legs are quite lengthy and it does sit quite low. If there's no breeze, then you can have it fully extended. That's no problem. Just before I get to the pros and cons of this selfie stick, I forgot to mention about the Bluetooth. 1.5 inch in length by about 1/2 inch wide. This remote, it's very thin and it's made out of plastic. Now, it does have its own battery, built-in battery. I can't find what the milliamp of this battery. I'll check the box again, but I could not find it. Nope, could not find it on there, and it doesn't say in the little leaflet that you get as well. So we have this little battery here. To fully charge it, I suggest about an hour to charge it. When the light goes off, and it's hard to see that light in there, but there is a little light off in there. When that light is off, it is fully charged. Now, to pair this remote to your phone, if it's an Android phone that you have, you simply got to go into Bluetooth on your Android phone and make your phone discoverable. So your phone can see the Bluetooth of this remote. iOS users don't have to do that. Just simply go into your Bluetooth. Now, once you're in your Bluetooth, at the very bottom, you'll see the words, and I hope I got this, anodized, which is ADYSS at the bottom. Try and focus in on there. You'll get that coming up. What you're going to do is you press, I forgot to tell you about the start of this. Let me recap back, folks. You press the Bluetooth button, the camera button, for 2 seconds. So press and have your finger down on for 2 seconds. You'll get a blue light, as you can see there. Once you get the blue light on your Bluetooth, it will come up as ADYSS, which is ADYSS will come up, as you can see there. You simply press on that, pressed it, it will come up on your phone there and get connected. I'll try and do this, folks. It's hard to do this. Right, it will keep connected. It will say connected on there, and now you're connected, and that blue light will stop flashing. I'm going to press the button on the Bluetooth remote and see if the Bluetooth remote the sound is muted on the phone or if you can hear it. So I'm going to press it, take a picture. No, you could hear the sound that the shutter button here or remote does not, the phone does not mute the sound. So I'm going to put it onto recording, onto video, and press the button to record. And it plays it, well, it starts it, and it doesn't cut the sound. So I'm going to stop it and see if it does make a sound. And it does not mute the sound. Now I'm going to get asked this question, I know I am. Does the remote work with iPads or tablets? Now, depending on your tablet and what operating system it uses, yes, it can work with your tablet as well. So if you put your tablet into record or photo mode, it will work with that as long as your tablet is capable of Bluetooth. It will work with that. This is the part of the video where I'll do my 2 pence worth on the K&F Concept A200, which is the largest 3-in-1 selfie stick that this company has started to produce. And I'm going to try and keep this short, folks, because the video, I know it's going to be really, really long. So I'm going to say this. I'll start off with the negatives first. And the first negative that I could see has to be with this particular mount here for your camera. It works with point and shoot cameras, this 3/4 inch Fred, and it works with your mirrorless camera. But when it came to, for me, putting an action camera on there, you might have to put a washer on there because this screw is kind of longer. Another negative I'm going to point out has to do with this handle here. I love the concept of putting a handle on there to do your panning shots. That's no problem. But the rubber on there, after a while, your hand warms this up, or if it's on a warm day or a hot day, this will slide off. So when you do get this, I suggest that you put a dab of super glue on the inside of the handle, then push the handle up, and that will keep this rubber on there. Another negative has to be with the, well, even though I said it's not really meant to be a handheld selfie stick, in my opinion, but they should have put some grip on here just in case if you do want to handhold this, at least there's some grip, because it is very, very smooth. Another is that there's no hole for a lanyard, but as I said, this is not really meant to be a handheld selfie stick or 3-in-1. It's meant to be a floor standing or tabletop or desktop selfie stick. Another negative I have to place on this is not the remote, because I think the remote is all right. It's taking the remote out of this kind of case that they put in there, this little pocket that they put in there. To place the remote in there is no problem. It goes in there and snaps into place. But to push the remote out, which they give you this, as you can see, this hole here, for you to push it out is a very, 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 very fiddly to push out. And I damaged a nail trying to take it out, because you can only push it out to that distance. Then you're going to have to put your nail in here to pry it out, and it's really fiddly. So K&F, you really have to, on your next iteration of this selfie stick, you got to wonder, try and make it easier to remove the remote than with this. With the A200, it's very fiddly to take the remote out. The last negative has to be, and I pity folks I couldn't really show you, is that when you're placing a iPad in there or a tablet and it happens to have a thick case on there, the teeth of this thing or the clamp of this thing, the clamps will not hold it, can't really hold it. So if you're going to put a iPad or tablet in there, you're going to have to take it out of its case to place into these clamps. Now for the positives. The positives, the first big positive of this is the build quality. As I said, it is built very well. It's very well built. I like how they use the ABS plastics in there. It's good quality ABS plastic, and the nice aluminium, and especially the nice aluminium which is coated in this nice matte black finish, and also how each section does have a double seam to give it strength, and the colors are colored to the section, colored to the color of the stem, and they're very, very thin. So I like how what they've done with this. And when you do buy this, and once you take it out the box, it does feel quality. It does have a feel of a quality build to it. Positive about this, I also like that you can have the ability to put two phones on there, so you can, whatever you're filming, you can have kind of two different perspectives of what you're filming, either at a landscape or a portrait position. Also with the, I like how they integrated this 1/4 inch screw thread at the top here, so you can put cameras on there if you wish. As I says, when it comes to your big DSLR cameras, make sure that they're under 500 grams with the lens on there, because the maximum payload of this is 500 grams. Now my overall conclusion to this, the K&F Concept Multi, I've got to get this right, multi-camera phone holder, or otherwise known as the A200. If you're a content creator or even a vlogger, this is a good tool to have. If you're one of these people who do vlog but you don't vlog while moving with your camera or phone, and you just do still, what I say, still vlogs, right? This is a very good equipment to have, a very good selfie stick to have, especially if you're going to do a lot of pan shots with it, because by providing this nice pan handle on there, pan handle? I hope I got that right. Pan handle on there, it is very good. Also, if you're a content creator that, like me, who likes to stand and either do product showcases, is that right? Showcases? Or product review videos. I'm losing it today, folks. Or doing makeup or hair videos or whatever, and you don't want a tripod because they're a bit too bulky or to have, then this is a very good selfie stick to have. It's an all-in-one, and as you can see, it is wouldn't say a pocket-sized thing, but it compared to a tripod, even a small tripod, a traveling tripod, this breaks down. It's compact compared to them. I'll have to give a nice thumbs up to the A200. Hopefully in the future I will review the other K&F Concept selfie sticks, which are smaller than this, on this channel. Now, if you happen to have the A200 from K&F Concepts, please link down in the comment section what you thought about it, because obviously your opinions are different to my opinions. Thanks for watching the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. I perfectly understand my videos can be long, but I like to go into detail on the item or the product, so when you get it, you know what to expect. Please subscribe to my channel if you like the channel. I'll be grateful for that, and I'll see you next time.